And I think slide sharing probably needs to also happen. Melinda, you need us to share the slides?
Yeah, that would be great.
All right.
I didn't have them up. Thank you, Jen.
Please kick us off.
Good morning and welcome to 1 Million Cups. We meet, as you all know, on Wednesday each month, and glad to have you all here. Next slide, please. We are part of the Coffin Foundation. They are our parent company and they help us with lots of great tools and lots of things that we can give as little perks to everybody. Our national and local mission, which we talk about every week, the important parts is we're about presentations, not pitches, often authentic, excuse me, connections, not networking. We're run for the community, by the community, and we're radically and intentionally inclusive. Next slide, please. Welcome visitors. If you're a visitor, please raise, for the first time today, please raise your hand. I don't think I noticed anybody new. Oh, Trey, I'm sorry. Welcome, Trey.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm Trey Hammond. I'm actually here because another member, Scott Alford, invited me. So Scott, thank you so much for the invitation. Everyone, thank you so much for having me here today.
Great. Brad, are you new too?
I've been a couple of times before, not recently, but also a friend of Scott Alford's. So it's very convenient. He's good at inviting us.
Great. Is there anyone else? I'm not looking at the participants on the list that are not on the screen. Next slide, please. We check in every week. This is how we keep track of everybody who's at the meeting. So please check in. I'll do the same thing at the same time so that we all can register for today's meeting. Next slide, please. We can't do this by ourselves. We have a really wonderful team of organizers and ambassadors that are here today. And if you have any questions, if you would like more information, please contact any one of us. Next slide, please. We can't do this without our sponsors as well. Jen, can you do Mason Enterprises and NABO?
Sure thing. Mason Enterprise Center in Fairfax is our physical space sponsor. Eddie Hill is the director there, so we meet there the first Wednesday of each month. What's unique about Mason Enterprise Center is, first, they have hundreds of businesses that are either virtual or in-person members. They have amazing space, and the coolest thing is they have dedicated mentors. So when you become a member there, you get a ton of support beyond just office space. You get events, programming, and mentorship. So check them out, mec-fairfax.org. You can also do a tour. And again, if you join us Wednesday, the first Wednesday of each month, we're happy to walk you over and show you the space too. And I'm excited to talk again about the coffee sponsor for the month, NABO, National Association of Women Business Owners. I am on the board, so this is a totally biased advertisement. However, it's a great group. And the reason we're focusing on them in September is they have $75 off membership. I have found the board to be fantastic. Their events and programming are great. They do a lot of local coffees, like neighborhood coffees, and they also have wine and wisdom events every month. Do check it out. Now's a great time to join. If you're not sure and you want to go to an event, let me know. I'm happy to have you as my guest. And back to you, Melinda.
Great. Next slide, please. How our meetings work. Today is not a typical meeting. It's one of our home meetings where we have discussions, and it really will work very similarly. What we're going to do is break out into breakout sessions, and then somebody in your group will present what your group came up with and share the knowledge. We're very, very excited about this meeting. It's a really hot topic. So next slide, please. And I'm going to turn it over to James right now so he can talk about today's meeting. Welcome, James. And again, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Happy to be here. Yeah, this is slightly different to what we normally do each week. So this is going to be a town hall. It's a little bit more educational versus having a presenter with a challenge question. And this topic is something that's getting banded around a lot right now. And so we thought, hey, it may be good to kind of do a little bit of education on this to you guys. I will say, and I don't know, but it might be best if you go to speaker view on Zoom for this, as the way that I do it is always a little bit different. But that we will get the recording. So, by the way, Jen, I love how you changed the topic title. This is way better than the one I had. Right. So I'm going to break the first cardinal rule of presenting, which is to say that I'm presenting on a subject that I myself am still learning on, but I'm getting deep into it because I need to. And so what we're going to do with this is give you like a 30,000 feet view of how AI is kind of changing the way that your customers are actually going to be finding you, but also how those decisions are getting made. And so I am sure there might be one or two of you in here who may be already deep into SEO and that domain, if you will, who know way more than I do. If you do, please be quiet. Right? And just let me get through this. I'm just kidding. We'll do, if you've got stuff in breakouts, let me know, because that'll be really interesting, you know. Okay, let's kick this thing off. So there's 3 questions that I hope I can answer for you guys as we go through this. Right. Let's talk about what's actually changing, right? And there's a lot of changes happening. What does it mean? Like, what does it mean to you with these changes that are happening in the space? And then what should you be doing next, right? What should be your initial steps right now to begin to, believe it or not, future-proof your business and the way that people are finding you? So big part of this is the AI SEO and how all this is changing the way that people are searching and finding. But it really just comes down to this. It's just making your content easy for assistants in AI and AI searches to what we call understand, cite, and trust, so that they can then recommend you to buyers. This is not done the same way as Google SEO. It's a very different way of approaching how you're getting found in the marketplace. So let's start by the change, right? So old world Google SEO, as everyone knows, I'm sure, driven by keywords, backlinks. That's what kind of drives visibility for a lot of your organizations. Buyers would then click through multiple sites and they would get a list. They would go through them. They try and figure out for themselves, like, who's it that I really want to talk to, yada, yada. What's my next step? And it was a long multi-step journey, right? And we've all done it, right? We've all sat on Google and went through a whole litany of companies trying to find the right one that's best fit for what we're trying to get. AI SEO is changing that and turning it on its head completely. So what's happening now in this new world of AI SEO is now buyers are asking questions conversationally. It's no longer short phrases going into a search bar. AI is giving us a synthesized answer, like an answer very much in a conversational style back to us based on what we've asked for. And instead of having 10 interactions on Google, we get it done with 1. Right? We get it done with 1. And so the way that I try, this is my analogy, right or wrong, but this is kind of the way that I look at it. AI is now a concierge, right? And if you can relate that back to, yeah, you're in a hotel and you ask for, hey, what's the best restaurant within 3 blocks? That's a Google SEO search. And the concierge is going to go, hey, go to such and such, 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 and it'll give you a list of 5 places. you begin to layer up more dynamic requests, meaning I want someone that's got a gluten-free menu. I want someone that does valet parking, right? So now we're adding things in. That becomes a very different search for that concierge. But this is what AI is now. AI is now a concierge for your business. So what does this really mean for you guys? Well, for all of us. This is the old Google way, right? This is how we've grown up. This is what we do. It's a search bar. We type in, hey, who's the best marketing company close to me in Fairfax or whatever, right? Now we're doing this. And we're opening up our phones. Some of us, not all of us, because Jen refuses to have a conversation with her AI assistant, right? But some of us do have relationships with our AI assistant, me being one of them. But now we're actually getting in and using advanced voice to have a conversation, asking them very specific questions with very specific parameters, and then getting feedback in a very conversational way. This is a game changer for how people are now finding businesses. And yes, Jen, I have named mine, and you know that. So her name is Riley. I can't help it. Leave me alone. So traditional Google searching, this is what we'd find, right? We go in, we ask a question, boom, we get a list. We get a litany of companies that kind of fit that description. The next stage that Google rolled out was giving you the AI overview. So they're getting a little bit smarter and they're giving you a little bit more information. Lately, they have just rolled out AI mode in Google. So now you can click on AI mode and do the search using a prompt. I got to tell you, I don't think it's quite as good yet as it can be, and it's not, right? But at least it's moved, but they're now moving towards this. So we're moving away from having a single search bar with one question to this, right? So this is just, this one was done through ChatGPT-5. If you did it through Gemini Pro, you're going to get different answers, and there's reasons for that. It's the way that the databases are built and the way the large language models are put together. It doesn't mean that one is right and one is wrong. They're just using different parameters to get you the information, right? And you need to understand that. And so we're getting this now where we're going in and saying, hey, I'm looking for a window cleaning company, Fairfax, clean my windows. I've got a 4-story townhome. I've got 27 windows. I want people recommended on professionalism, not leaving a mess, and punctuality. Those might be James's requirements. John Rutenberg, Jen, Trey Hammond, Brad, you guys might have different requirements for that service. It is going to look specifically for those things. And instead of giving you a whole litany of companies, it's going to go, here's the 3. Right? Here's the 3 companies that fit your exact requirement. And here's why, which is actually the coolest thing. Because not only now are we going to get information that is parsed exactly for what we're looking for, but they're actually going to tell us what they actually bring. So now it says what these pros will bring to your townhome, and it's going to rate, and it's going to tell us exactly based on what we asked for. Why specifically it's these 3 companies. So in real terms, and if you guys haven't done this already, I would suggest you start trying it and just seeing what happens, right, in your own industry. We have moved from something that can take hours to try and figure out to something that literally is taking minutes, right? It's literally taking minutes. One of the really cool things that we're seeing is people are actually taking more in terms of belief, if you will, from what they're getting from AI recommendations than they're taking from Google. So people aren't trusting Google reviews anymore. They're not trusting Yelp anymore as much as they did, and they're actually entrusting more into what AI tells them. And the reason being, is because we're so specific in the conversation about what we want rather than getting more a general output, if that makes sense. So this is, as I said, it's changing everything, and it's kind of flipping everything on its head in terms of how you guys are getting found. So the question, so yeah, so I'm going, Jen, it does hallucinate, but the hallucination has been reduced to like 0.01 versus what it was before. They've also cut down on the sycophant thing, right? I don't know if you guys ever noticed, but if you ever went to chat GPT, say, oh, that's a great idea. And you're like, no, it's not. It's a stupid idea. Like, tell me it's stupid, right? So they've reduced the sycophant piece as well. So it doesn't always kind of blow smoke. But yeah, it's a good point. There is still some hallucination in there. So you have to be careful, right? So what we're looking at now is saying, well, what do we really need to be thinking about? And there's this strategy, if you will, what we call a best fit brief. We don't call it that. That's what it's called. It's a best fit brief. And a best fit brief is simply this. Think of it as a short, authoritative summary, right? It's designed to position you as the best provider. It is designed specifically for AI to scrape and cite. And this part is really important. Put each question in the headline. All right, I'm going to show you how that looks in a second. Answer it simply. Right? Don't get overly complicated with this. Keep each one brief, but more importantly, conversational. Right? Conversational. So how does a best fit brief actually build? Well, there's 4 parts to it. You're going to talk about who you serve. You're going to talk about why you're different. You're going to give proof points. And you're going to have a clear call to action. So the way that people are starting to use these is if you have a blog, right? And so I was going to say in the old days of Google search, in the old days of Google search, you would write a blog and you would have your keywords in the blog. That's how people would find you. Now what we're doing is we're creating these best fit briefs and we're putting them inside our blog. And we're making the blog available through the homepage. So instead of writing 500-600 word blogs, you're writing literally 150 word best fit brief covering these 4 things. And the way that you have to think about this is, what are the top questions that someone is going to ask if they are looking for a company like me? Like, what is it they're looking for? And you're going to create briefs around that, right? If that makes sense. So here's an example, right? So a residential roofing company. So the question that someone might pose is like, who's the best roofing contractor for storm damage repairs in Fairfax? That may be a valid question. So you're going to create a best fit brief that talks about, we help homeowners protect properties with storm damage repair, yada, yada, yada. You're actually going to say that's what we do. You're going to talk about why you're different. You're going to give a proof point, and you're going to give the call to action. And you're going to create 15 to 20 of these and put them inside your blog and make it easily found. One of the things here that is really important to understand is that with Google, you would get dinged if they felt you were keyword stuffing. Like they didn't like a lot of replication in your stuff. AI does not care. It doesn't care, right? And so, yes, in the beginning, you've still got to be careful. But as the switch begins to happen, guys, you're going to have a lot more latitude in terms of what you can produce in order to be found as we move away from the Google and more into an AI platform search. Same if you're a law firm, estate planning, right? Do I really need a will if I already have beneficiaries listed? Boom. Who we serve those people. Why are we different? Some proof point, call to action. So it's almost like, if you understand the problem action result formula, it's a little bit like that. But you're going to start with the question, right? The question is the headline. That's how it's going to get found. So as we roll out of this, right, what should you be thinking about? Well, don't ditch Google SEO yet, right? It's going to be around for a while, right? But start to layer in some best fit briefs into your website, into your content. Start framing content around buyers' AI questions. Like, how are they going to be asking the question, and do it in a conversational style. You want to build trust signals for AI visibility. So these are like proof points. As many proof points scattered around as you possibly can, so it's going to pull. If you think Google will reward content with rankings, right? AI rewards content with citations. We've had a lot of conversations, and I know that, like, within 1 Million Cups, we talk about LinkedIn, and John Foster's big on LinkedIn. I'm a massive advocate of not posting, but writing articles, because articles live forever, right? If you think that's the thing that's going to get cited in an AI search, so when it's looking for proof points, it may be pulling your content because it's citing the thing that you've written about very specifically. So yeah, both lead to visibility. Second one's becoming just as valuable. Citations are going to count big going forward. So I came up with a couple of short-term 30 to 90-day moves that you might want to be thinking about. Do an audit for AI readability, right? Use tools that simulate an AI search. I have a list of them on the last slide. Don't worry. You can take a screenshot and you can go figure them out. Start QA-rich FAQ pages, right? These are direct questions, like what is a question that someone is going to ask very specifically, and then mark it up for the best for AEO, which is the answer engine optimization, right? It's going to look for very specific words, and I know we use keywords for Google, but the way that this is doing this, it's looking for a direct match between the way a question is asked and the answer that is giving. That's why we're saying just keep it conversational. Build content designed for AI to scrape and cite. Stop writing blogs, write best fit briefs, write articles, but keep them very, I'm going to keep saying, keep it very conversational in tone, right? And the headline of your article should be a question, not a statement. This is a list of platforms that you can actually use to actually go out and do an audit of your site. It will come back, it will give you recommendations on some content you can actually chunk down or kind of reposition or reword to make it more AI friendly. Okay. The screen is a bit fuzzy. Oh, we'll send it out then. That's fine, Jen. Yeah, but we'll take a thing of this and we'll send it out to everybody. I think more than anything, and let me do this just really quick, and then we'll get to the breakout. I know I went through that super fast. One of the big things that we're hearing right now is that if you wait too long to start implementing some of this stuff and getting ahead of this, you're not going to be months behind. You're going to be years behind everybody else. And so I would suggest to you is that you start looking at what AI platforms you're using and start to design some best fit briefs as a first step to begin installing into your online platform, your websites, etc. And at the very least, start to make a 30, 60, 90-day plan of all the things that you want to get done, and then just implement. Find someone who's really, really good at this stuff. Not me, somebody else who's really, really good at it. But it's not coming. It's already here. All right. And I'll finish by saying this, Jen, and we'll move on. The impetus for this presentation that I did, I sit on a group of about 30 marketers once a week. We got on calls and we sit and talk about the market, what's going on, yada, yada, yada. And almost everybody says that all of their clients are starting to see a dip in lead gen because they're no longer getting found through Google. People are moving to AI search platforms and they are not ready. Their sites are not AI ready. And so they're not getting found. So be aware, it's not happening. It's already here. I will finish there. Thank you so much for your attention. And yeah, we can move to breakouts or whatever next is, Jen.
James, that was great. Thank you so much. Really helpful and not too scary, but definitely urgency is felt. So I appreciate that. I'm going to drop in chat the first breakout set of questions. You'll see a join button pop up. One of the 1MC organizers will facilitate each room. We have a note-taking document. We're going to capture ideas. We'll come back and debrief, and then we'll do one more breakout, and then we'll wrap up. So again, you'll see the join button. Click on that, and we'll see you back here in 10. right, welcome back. On track. We'll take, we have 6 groups, 6 minutes, 1 minute each group. Pull out a highlight or two, and then we'll go back into the next breakout. So the first breakout room, James Lawson, what's a takeaway or so in under a minute?
I was with Prabhamit and I was with Jen. I'm going to ask Prabhamit to talk about what we were, because
Okay.
she's in this stuff way more than anybody. So
Yeah.
let her talk.
Prabhamit, please.
Thank you, James. You're very kind. So we discussed how what is the appropriate way of using the AI tools that we have, which is ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, because not everything deserves a ChatGPT response, right? If you're just searching for something simple, you don't have to, because think of the environmental impact also behind the scenes and the amount of data that's being pulled in for no reason. So we need to be careful about that. And then James was very kind in talking about how SEO and AEO both go hand in hand. It's a shift, but doesn't mean that SEO is going away anywhere. So you need to make sure that you have your websites appropriately, the way he described earlier. So yeah, that's what we got away. So 2
Fantastic.
takeaways. Sorry, Jen, not 1.
That's all right. Maria and John Norse.
So we were having a conversation. John is a classic guy, so he hasn't changed his Google search, how he does. And I was explaining to him how I'm using it, which is completely different. I was mentioning that I used it in an airport when airline was saying that they wouldn't allow a friend of mine board because she did not do the online registration, which was completely incorrect. And I was able to cite documents that they, airline, their FAA version, and, argue that. So things like that is what I use AI for.
Fantastic. Classic John Norse. I dig it. Okay. Brad, would you mind us saying what's one thing you took away from the group that we were talking about?
We had a good conversation about just accuracy or inaccuracy in AI. Copilot, Michael shared that Copilot has better, it seems to be performing better in terms of citations, and I seconded that. But we had a conversation over what really is the level of accuracy and the level of trust that people are putting into AI. And I suggested that, maybe people are trusting it more, that we in the group here are we're all pretty hesitant about it. But I think maybe people are trusting it more than they should at this point. And that's leading people to drive AI usage, but not necessarily get the results that they need.
Fantastic. Thanks, Brad. Thanks for being on the hotspot. Melinda, do you have Trey or Trisha want to share one insight from your group?
I can do it quickly and share that Trisha uses AI maybe 1/3 of the time for searches and everything, and that Trey is new to it. We also talked about some takeaways from James's conversation, and it was really summed up nicely, like move away from blogs to 150 words formatted so AI can scrape from keywords. And I brought up some things that I've been doing, and also that personal touch that you need to add in, and that I do have a relationship with my AI, so that I don't have to go through the research again and everything else. It can go back in to read some of the other things it's done, and it's really good at just putting things together quickly the way I want to see it. But I control it. I don't let AI control it.
That's what you think. All right, fantastic. I'm going to have John Foster.
Yep.
What's an insight from your group, Foster?
Yes. Well, it's interesting. In our group, we had kind of 2 extremes. We had Greg, who is, I'll say, very early on with regards to AI, and then Seaman, who's written papers for a bunch of different agencies around AI. So we had 2 extremes, but I think the question that came up was around the bias in AI. And so, being aware of that. Yeah, but the other thing I point out is the appreciation as far as James and the presentation and just raising the awareness around things that we can do as business people to start, moving business forward and dealing with the changes going on.
Building on Foster, what you said, Butera brought up a great point, which is the data is only as good as the data set behind it. So bias and AI for sure. As I look at your notes and look at things like Croc, whoever controls the data controls the answer. Next up, and last but not least, Scott Alford.
Melanie, would you be willing to share your thoughts on our group?
Sure. So we had an interesting conversation about the use of AI and the accuracy of AI for business identification, and also just the hallucinations and prompt accuracy. We also discussed using AI across platforms such as Google's Gemini and ChatGPT. We also discussed, the results of AI, for resume usage, and is it one dimensional with limited, variations of how it makes determinations, or is it simply just using keywords and then that's it? So the actual prompt engineering that's behind the scenes, is it as complex and multidimensional as what we need, essentially? And so we also discussed a tool that can be used to improve our prompts so that when we put the prompts into these platforms, we can have more accurate results coming back. So it was a pretty holistic conversation.
Fantastic. I did just put questions for breakout number 2 in chat. What are the top 2 questions your customers always ask before buying? I am putting us in different rooms, so you may get to talk to different people, you may not, but hopefully you'll get to meet at least one new person or get to discuss AI with them. This is only going to be 8 minutes, so 9:54 I will be bringing us back. So be concise and share the room. Click on the blue button and we'll see you back in 8 minutes.
Okay, we got
Yeah.
finished. Yeah, definitely. It was interesting.
We'll touch base.
All right.
Yes, definitely.
Welcome back, everybody.
Don't you love it when you're in the middle of a conversation, you just get cut right off?
And your host gives
Or
you
an answer.
2-minute warnings and 1-minute warnings, and you're still like, oh my
It's
God.
still hard. It's still difficult,
We're
Jen.
still, yeah.
That just means you're having a great conversation. I
Yes.
think that's fantastic.
Exactly.
Make
We're
sure
thankful for you, Jen.
That's right. Make sure you capture your notes in the document. We will share that shortly. Usually that'll come out from John Burke in his weekly email to the group. If someone has 1 or 2 takeaways, I'm not going to go by room again. Please share.
So, hey, Jen, let me jump in real
Yep.
quick because Seaman had an idea with regards, and it's something I'll look at implementing, is using chatbots to collect data to help you evaluate how to better target. And so, Seaman, if you want to expand on that, I appreciated that.
Yeah, so you can go to, I forgot which website was it. I think it's a web. I can find and give it to you guys later. So you just go to website, you stick your website name in there, and it will take about a minute and pull all information. Then you can have the chatbot start doing a conversation with him. Like you can start asking questions about your website. It will give you everything about your stuff. Like if your chatbot doesn't know what you're doing, guess what? Time to revamp the website or your business model or whatever you guys are doing, right? So I think it's a good. I did that. It worked. I was shocked. Like what I do, I'm exactly on point. It came out. I was very happy. Let's put it that way. So
Please
Well,
share
so-
that.
so
I
you
think
can-
it's
share
okay.
that.
I will share that. Okay.
Yeah, do drop it in chat or email us after.
Okay.
One thing I will say that came up in our group is, and I think Craig, Jen, and John all said this, focusing on one-to-one in-person contact. Because how many leads do you really need? All right, I'm going to share the slides and get back to the meeting. James,
What?
what can we help you with?
Nothing. This has been so much fun, and I do appreciate everyone's patience in letting me kind of share this information. So, but just implement, guys. Don't get crazy. Just do a little bit, little bit. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Thank you again for sharing this, James. We really appreciate you putting in the effort and bringing all that material together.
So
Linda, back to you.
next week we need a presenter. So which one of you would like to present your business with a challenge question? We can help you with it. We've got a form you fill out that really basically puts your PowerPoint together, makes it really easy, and we'd love to have some of you.
I will, Seaman, I will do it. I started actually doing yesterday, filling these things, but hopefully I'll be finishing today or tomorrow. Because,
Oh, that's
yeah.
wonderful. So we've got you down, Seaman.
Yep, put it down. So thank you.
Question for you real quick.
Sure.
Who would you like in the room if you want us to bring extra people for your presentation? Tell us briefly what you do.
So my thing is I'm doing, actually everyone in the room will be my customer because it's a water leak prevention detection monitoring service, which means anyone who has any business with the water in there is going to be my customer. And I will show you how I can prevent catastrophe issues in your home, businesses, whatever. And I was telling John, like I was at Sister Living yesterday, and they were crying, like, we have this issue, how are you going to solve it? So I'm going to design the system for them, how they can take advantage of it.
Fabulous. Jen, I think you have it on the wrong week.
I don't, because we actually do have someone scheduled for next week.
Oh, okay. So it's the 24th. Great. Perfect.
So apologies for not filling that out, but Simon, if we can do the 24th, if that changes, we'll follow back up with you.
Sure.
It does look like September is booked, so October is wide open.
So again, if we can help anybody with anything, help you think about what your challenge question is, we're there to help you. Contact any of us.
Rudenberg?
Yeah, Melinda.
Thank
you. Yeah, I'm sorry, Melinda. Sorry, so whoever
you go.
Go ahead. Yeah, Melinda, I went ahead and submitted an application to.
Louise here next week, if that's okay. If not, let us know.
Next week is going to be a little tough, but when I went onto the site where, I got an email and it maybe I need help with the site because I couldn't find anything on there like it to be able to select a date. I didn't find a way to select a date. So maybe I'm looking at it wrongly or something. So
I
somebody
think
could help
we
with that.
selected the date for you. So if you want to do the 24th and change with Seaman, we can do that. But let's talk about that offline so we can keep everybody on track.
Okay.
Great, and we're
Yeah.
happy to have both of you.
Thrilled.
Yes. Help us spread the word. We're on social media. If you want to get all the links, please scan this QR code. And spread the word, share our meeting and all the great things that you learned today. Next slide, please. And stick around after this meeting. We're going to have some conversation. We've got a few minutes before 10 o'clock, I think. I'm trying to see the time on my clocks here.
We have about 2 minutes left. Thanks again, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and stop recording.